Oftentimes, people ask me who my favorite saint is, and I have to respond, Leonie Martin. And she really wasn't a saint. A lot of people don't know who she was. However, her sister was a saint, and she was very well known. Her sister was Saint Therese of Lisieux. Saint Therese had many brothers and sisters, most of whom died at a young age. And at the end, there were only 4 surviving sisters. Most people know who the 3 sisters were that were the Carmelite nuns. They were the most famous. And that's the order that Saint Therese belonged to. But most people don't know who Leonie Martin was, simply because she did not belong to the Carmelite order. Throughout history, there have been many books written about Saint Therese and the other 2 sisters that were Carmelites, but most often Leonie has been left out. Leonie was born in 1863 in France. She was not popular compared to her other siblings. She was neither pretty nor intelligent, and tended to be quite emotional and gave her parents a hard time. Growing up, she felt very isolated. Out of the 5 sisters, the 2 oldest, Marie and Paulette, were very close, and the 2 youngest sisters, who were Céline and Thérèse, they were both later became saints. They were very close. And then in the middle, that left Leonie all. Leonie's parents were very strong Catholics and loved their children very much and did their best to raise them in the faith. However, Leonie's mother had such a difficult time with her because she was so rebellious. So she contacted her sister, who was a nun, in the order of the Visitation, and her sister, Leonie's aunt, encouraged her to just keep at it, keep trying to discipline her with love, and to not yell at her, not scold her. And she did this because she knew that she could see her niece at some point might become a nun or even a saint. So she continued to encourage Leonie's mother the best that she could. When Leonie was 14 years old, and Saint Therese, her sister, was just 4 years old, their mother passed away from breast cancer. Several years later, in 1886, Leonie's 2 oldest sisters, Marie and Pauline, both joined the Carmelites. Leonie decided that she wanted to be a nun, but not with the Carmelites. So she joined the order called the Poor Clare order. The family advised her against it and didn't think it would be a good fit and wanted her to join a different order, but she didn't listen and joined anyway. She ended up not being happy and it didn't work out, and finally was asked to step down. She was embarrassed and so depressed when she left there. She decided she then wanted to join the same order as her favorite aunt, the Visitation order. So she put in an application, and the Visitation sisters accepted her. The couple of years that Leonie was there were really good for her. And then they voted in a new Mother Superior. This Mother Superior was very strict and very critical of everyone. She criticized Leonie because she wasn't the most intelligent and asked her to leave. So Leonie left and went home. And she cried and cried and cried. She was there all by herself because Sister Celine and Marie had already joined another order. The 4 sisters sent her letters of encouragement constantly trying to cheer her up. She would go visit them once a week. Saint Therese was encouraging her to not give up on God, to trust Him, and that He would lead her in the right direction, and that she just needed to follow His will. Now, at that time, Saint Therese was gravely ill and she was close to death. She told her other two sisters that she could see that Leonie would end up joining another order very soon, and for them not to worry. Saint Therese passed away in 1897. In 1899, just like Saint Therese had said, Leonie went back to the order and stayed there. At the beginning it was very difficult, but she ended up doing just fine. The nuns there were very impressed with her and how holy she became. She was very calm, very peaceful, and always focused on God's will. When things happened, she didn't complain. She smiled and showed love and kindness and did her best. Because Leonie was in the town of Caen and her sisters were in Lisieux, they didn't see each other for a whole 17 years. After Therese passed away, the sisters wrote a diary or a book that many people read. The book talked about how to become holy. And that was when the church took interest and started to investigate Therese's life. And it seemed that yes, she did enter the kingdom of heaven and that she should be named a saint. But before they could do that, they needed to interview several people. So Leonie and her two sisters needed to be brought together to be interviewed. Finally, Leonie would get to see them. In 1941, Jesus called Leonie home to heaven. Soon after her passing, because people knew that she was so holy, they started to pray for her and pray to her, and their prayers were answered. Today, the church is investigating Leonie's life, and it's possible that at some point she will be declared a saint. Her body is in the Visitation Monastery, in the crypt in the basement of the chapel, and she lies there till this day. Why is Leonie my favorite? Well, because she was so wonderful and rebellious and mischievous, but she focused on God, and she stayed faithful, and God led her and changed her life. What's her secret to becoming holy? It was just to follow God's word in His path every day, regardless of what happens, good or bad. To serve God and to serve other people. And it's possible that her example inspires us as well. God bless you.